Welcome to Linux for the Rest of Us, episode number 61. The show on the Podnutz network about Linux. All the facets of Linux. You know, different Linux things. We don't just go over program. We don't just go over command line stuff. We don't just go over distributions or Linux news. We try to cover it all and give you a well-rounded general update / education in Linux. And it's kind of fun. I always learn something every episode because the man who brings the goods is the door-to-door geek, Steve McLaughlin, who is with us tonight. And how's it going, Dor?
Hey, Steve. Sorry, I had to close my Google Plus tab. I'm here.
You addicted? Are you addicted to Plus?
I'm addicted to the people and the interaction on it, yes.
Yes.
But it's good stuff.
Yeah, me and Dor were actually talking before the show, and I'm was never the social maven or anything of the sort. But I actually not even maven. I just never did any social network stuff really. But I'm really enjoying Google Plus. It's like I get it, I like it. And everybody who does join, follow any Podnutzian, and we get all connected, are great. I mean, the content on I'm looking in my stream is actually entertaining. It's fun. It's good stuff. I quite enjoy it. So Google Plus gets thumbs up for me.
Yeah, I'll say some of it's funny, some of it's just good.
Yeah, and it's just good. It's enlightening.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. So what's new with you, and what do you want to talk about this week?
Well, first on the basic side of things, I want to just talk about a little bit about black magic, because there is levels inside of operating systems, irregardless of which one you're talking about, where there's things that don't exactly make a lot of sense. Perfect example, one of the guys who I have in my Haytel now, Clifford, had an issue with Mint on his notebook, that when the screen dimmed, the Wi-Fi would drop out. Okay. And then he would hit the buttons, screen would come back on, Wi-Fi wouldn't even be able to connect again. He couldn't even see the wireless access point again. And he asked me, how do I fix it? And I said, are you sure it isn't hibernating? He said, positive. The screen's off. I hit a key, and half a second later, boom, it's back up. I said, oh, okay, that's not hibernation. That's not sleeping. That's not suspending. That's just monitor off. He went and installed a different version of Linux. He said, now everything works great. Okay, that's good to know. So when it comes to your first time diving in, you really shouldn't go in hard pressed to say, slamming your fist down, this is the one I'm going to use, this is it, this is it, this is it. You should always go in with a preferred way of going, like Linux Mint or Ubuntu or Pingyai or some other one, but never completely count out, well, I might have to switch because of hardware reasons.
Yeah, so I mean, don't get discouraged when you're trying a distro for the first time and it doesn't do everything perfectly, or it has some type of flaw for your particular system.
Yep, and I'll say, to be honest, Black Hammer is one of the guys who, to me, if you would take the average first-time Linux enthusiast, mark that word, enthusiast, Black Hammer to me is the atypical. He is it, because he literally has tried 15 to 20 different distros in the last 2 weeks. He keeps telling me, I tried this, I like that, I didn't like that. I tried this, I like this, I didn't like that. And he goes through and he's actually learning about the different operating systems as he's going, but he's finding which one or what things suits his workflow, his needs, his likes. And when he's done distro hopping, he's going to find himself very happy and much more aware of, well, if I have to use this other operating system or this other distro, I know what I like, so let me get that stuff over here.
So you encourage distro hopping for like a first timer, or like somebody who's starting out, just like try them all and see which one you like the best?
Well, yes, I say you should have one that is your initial go-to one, where, well, tonight I got to do this and this, let me reinstall this one because I need to get this done, kind of thing. Because in reality, the longest an installation should take, even on 5-year-old hardware, is 35 minutes or so. that's, it takes longer to bake chicken.
Right.
You know what I mean? It like doesn't take long. So I highly encourage people, have that one you go to, but definitely put your toe in the water, try other ones. Distrowatch.com, hands down, bar none, absolutely best resource for distributions. And I will say on linuxbasics.com, it just got overhauled by Bruce Patterson from DistroWatch and John over there. He put a feed on the bottom left that I never noticed before on DistroWatch. So it is actually on DistroWatch somewhere, where it's just distributions that came out, new versions, even if they're just little tweaked versions where it's like a brand new release candidate, like kind of thing coming out, where literally every week you can try 3 or 4 different brand new distributions.
Huh. That's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, when I saw that, I started to get a little itchy and twitchy. And I will say, Tracy Holtz is in the chat. Yes, I have downloaded Slackware. Yes, I am going to install it. It's a rite of passage. I'm going to do it, I swear.
That's his thing, eh?
One of. Tracy's a fan of Puppy, Magea. I've seen him use Ubuntu like, he's an old hat at it. And Slackware, it seems like it's really it's only gaining more popularity. I've never heard someone say, I installed it, I don't like it, I'm not using it. So,
Okay. Well, we got to have maybe Tracy come on and talk about why he likes it so much. Maybe one of these shows. That'd be pretty.
Well, all we have to do is get him and Jonathan Nadeau in the same room about it.
And then we're done. We're dominated.
We can just play cards.
Just like we did for the benchmark wars on Android.
Exactly. And let me silence that thing.
That's right. Dorcore just signed on. Let's get on here and see if we could get him into the call.
Cool.
And by the way, Dor, why didn't you tell me the Skype doesn't come through for you? You guys never look at your Skype feeds.
Because I watch the live feed. I want to see what everybody's saying.
No.
Yes.
I spent a lot of time on a dazzled DZ100 trying to get it all set up.
It's not my job to stress you.
Dorcore, you there?
Yeah. Can you guys hear me? I take it you can't see me.
We cannot see you, but we will take what we can get.
I can't hear.
Let's see. I should be able to make it work for video. I'm just wondering what I'm missing here. Might need to set a preference or something.
Are you a big Skype user?
No, not usually. I do some like chats with folks for like business things sometimes, but that's about it. Or like interviews, but usually interviews are audio. Let's see. I have done. Okay. Let's see. It says like when I go into settings and everything, it's got my FaceTime camera and that looks like it's going okay. So.
Okay, good.
Do you have any luck seeing me right now? I can see you.
Yeah, I just sent you the video, so you should see me. Let me call you back. Sometimes
no. Here. If you're on Linux, the blue button below where you see his video, click that, and you should see Start My Video.
Let's see. I'm actually on OS 10, but let's try this.
I can't help you.
There we go. How about that?
Typical musician using Apple.
Well, I run Backtrack 5 in a VM.
Oh, okay.
How about, can you see me now?
Yes, we got you. Thanks for coming on. We are live, by the way, just so you know.
Hello, internet.
So let me see if I could cue you up in a picture here. There's me and Steve McLaughlin, the Door-to-Door Geek. And let me cue you up, get you in frame there, and we will continue. There you are.
Sweet.
Thanks for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, definitely. Just trying to tweak it to get you in there perfect. There, that's better. So, I have not met you before. I'm Steve Cherubino, and the host of Podnutz shows. And I think you met Steve McLaughlin, the Door-to-Door Geek, at the Ohio Linux Fest.
Yeah, that's correct. Nice to meet you, other Steve.
Nice to meet you, too. Man, these guys, I'm telling you, they just wouldn't stop talking about you when they came back. You must have put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, we always have a lot of fun. Linux Fest is always a good time. We're actually very fortunate. We get to play Ohio Linux Fest, Indiana Linux Fest, Southeast Linux Fest. So I don't know of any other ones, but if they're out there, we'd love to play them as well.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. If I'll probably be catching you on one of the next ones because after what these guys told me, because I have not yet been to a Linux Fest. In fact, Door was my major introduction. Sorry, we call Steve McLaughlin Door to Door because he's the door-to-door geek. But Door was like my major introduction to Linux, and now I'm being like, after all the talk about these Linux Fests, I feel like I have to go to them now. So they seem like so much fun. So I'll definitely be seeing you live soon.
Awesome. Yeah, look forward to meeting you.
Yes. When is the next one? What is it? Southeast?
Probably Southeast, I think. I can't remember which one's first, either Indiana Linux Fest or Southeast.
Okay.
But yeah, those are the two that will be next.
Cool. Well, why don't you tell us, for anybody who hasn't heard of you, who you are and what you do?
Sure. My name's Int80. I'm the rapper in Dual Core. We have a hip hop group, two of us. The other guy is C64. He's the real talent in the group. He makes all the beats, does all the mixing, makes everything sound good. So I've got the easy job. I just write the rap lyrics and rap them. But I'm a Linux guy myself. I've been using Linux for probably well over a decade now. I do security stuff, reverse engineering for my day job, and so I deal in all OSs, and so that's why I've got OS 10 and all flavors of Windows, and of course Backtrack 5 doing security stuff.
Oh, sweet. Reverse engineering. So does that mean you try to find flaws in systems?
Yeah, that's one thing you can do with reversing. Other things could be like copy protection or malware analysis, stuff like that. Interoperability things are also good targets for reversing.
Sweet. That sounds pretty fun, actually.
Oh yeah, it's a good time.
And type of music that you do is called nerdcore, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Or I mean, it's whatever. Like I've heard a bunch of different labels for it, but pretty much we make hip hop music, and the subject matter is all nerdy topics. So whatever you want to call it, if you want to call it independent hip hop, or you want to call it nerdcore, or you want to call it geeksta, that's all metadata. Our tracks still sound the same.
Geeksta? Is that what people call it? I love that.
Yeah, I've heard a bunch of different names for it.
That's awesome. So it sounds like it's a blast to do. So what do you do? Linux Fest, and you play a bunch of other shows?
Yeah, last year we played about 36 shows. This year, like 40 something already. I mean, it's not just like Linux conferences. Although our latest show was DerbyCon, which is a big hacker conference in Louisville. It was our first year. This past weekend, it was awesome. But I mean, we've played like parties for Microsoft, Facebook. We played a couple shows at South by Southwest earlier this year. We played one for a podcast from CNET called Buzz Out Loud.
Yeah,
that was in the interactive portion, and then we had a music showcase during the music segment as well. So we get around and love doing it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh man, I can imagine. Sounds like a blast. Let me just tell everybody your website, and then I'm sure Door has a bunch of questions for you.
Absolutely.
If you guys want to check out his music, check it out. It's dualcoremusic.com, right?
That's correct. And an easy way to find us is just to Google Dual Core, and the first site in the results is Wikipedia, and the second site is us, and then after that is shopping and news. So you can easily find us just Googling Dual Core, and we're Dual Core Music on all the social networks, Facebook, Twitter, etc.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys definitely check it out. And if you haven't heard his music yet, it's very cool. It's quite enjoyable, especially if you're a geek. Door, what I'm sure you'd have a barrage or a bunch of questions you want to ask him.
Well, first thing I have to do is I have to bow to his SEO. Very talented, sir. Good job.
Thanks.
No problem. Honestly, first question I got for you is, you said you've been using Linux for about 10 years. That is, wow, long time. Can I ask, what was the first distro that you used and got you into this thing?
What really got me into it was either Red Hat 7 something or Debian. But before that, the first distro that I ever used was Slackware, and so I had hilarious LOLs because I didn't really know much about operating systems and like hard drives or anything at that point. So I was, following through like a tutorial I found online of Slackware, and it was like partition your drive. I'm like, what does that mean? And consequently, I blew out all the partitions on my hard drive with fdisk trying to get Slackware installed, and was just left with this like, command prompt, didn't know what to do with it at that point and everything. But no, like running Red Hat 7.1, I think, is what really kind of like hooked me in. That's kind of one that I really stuck with. And then when I found Debian shortly after that,